Shalom friends, this is Jonathan Feldstein, the Genesis 123 Foundation. You're not meant to see me right now, you're meant to see these. These are the posters of the hostages who are still in Gaza, 73 people. I know the grandfather of Gali Berman, whose twin brother is also in Gaza with him. All of these people are still kidnapped. Two of them for more than a decade, but everyone else. This one is heartbreaking. This is Kfir Bibas, who was 10 months old when he was kidnapped, and his brother Ariel, who was 5 years old, and his mother, their mother, Yarden. It's heartbreaking and very hard even to talk about it, because we're in the midst of this horrible deal letting out terrorists in place of the hostages who we need to bring home. And you can see there's a gap in between many of them. There had been many of the pictures along the wall here. They've all been moved over to this side because right now, it's really sick to say, they're only 73. But what's interesting, for the first time since I've traveled, since the war began, this is the first time that we anticipate by the time I come back, there'll be at least 14 more people who physically are alive and free, or whose bodies are being held and we know that they're dead. There are at least 14 who are scheduled to come back. This week on Thursday, there's talk about as many as 4 bodies being released, and in addition on Saturday, another 3 live hostages who've been kidnapped, and the following week another 4 bodies and another 4 and another 3 hostages. This man, Shlomo Mansour, is now 86 years old. Well, was 86 years old, would have been 86 years old. We discovered recently that he was killed in captivity by Hamas. He's the oldest of the hostages. It's hopeful, but I have to say it's terribly sad, because even if the 14 or 18 more bodies and hostages are released as anticipated in the next few weeks, while I'm going to be overseas, it still means that there are many more. Many more. This young man, Guy Dalal, I know his father. He's been on our podcast, Inspiration from Zion, a few times. Guy, we believe, is alive. They've received signs of life. And here's Ziv Berman, who's the twin of Gal, whose grandfather we met with the root and branch trip this past November. It's heartbreaking. We need prayers. We need you to sign the petition to pressure Hamas to release all of the hostages unconditionally. And we need to pray for the families of those who are still in captivity. And we need to pray for those who've been released recently and their families, that they should all come back to full physical and emotional health.